us welcome. This is such a happy afternoon for us, right?
Absolutely.
And Chuck is my Gold LEED AP. He convinced us to do this. I pretty much was worn out after Will. But he said, you have all this data. And he's a data geek. So he worked on it. We did a few more things, and he'll be telling you about that. But welcome. I want to make a few introductions. I want to acknowledge my team from Forest Park here, Mayor Aaron Brown, Don Jones, our city manager, and Wright Gwynn is my environmental guy. That's what I call him. We built the building in 1990. It was half warehouse and half office, and a lot of changes since then. But Forest Park supported us with initial financing, with programs, with grants. They sponsored us for economic gardening experience. And we've just always been delighted with the whole team, the fire department, the police department. I've always been safe here and taken care of. So hats off to that team. Dana is with the Waycross Community Media, and she's here to record all this celebration. Now I would like to introduce Ryan Mooney Bullock. She's Executive Director of Green Umbrella, and she will make a couple statements about Green Umbrella, which I'm a total fan, obviously, in 2030 district.
Good to see all of you here today. I'm Ryan Mooney Bullock, the Executive Director of Green Umbrella. Green Umbrella is the regional climate collaborative for Greater Cincinnati, and we lead cross-sector collaboration that's designed to accelerate local climate action, pulling together businesses like this and many of the ones that you represent, but local governments like Forest Park, nonprofit organizations, and schools from across a 10-county region to really help them figure out what can they do and how can they get started to reduce their climate impact and prepare for a more resilient future. So we're really excited. The 2030 District is one of our programs and has been a key partner with a lot of you. So we're excited to be here today and learn more about this awesome project that is not only creating a healthy workplace, but also making sure that it is reducing emissions and not creating more climate pollution. So kudos, Don.
Hi, everybody. My name is Wyatt King. I am the director of the 2030 District, which, for those who may not be familiar, is the Green Umbrella program dedicated to decarbonizing the built environment. And what that consists of primarily is increasing the use of energy efficiency in buildings, transitioning to clean energy generation, increasing the water use efficiency, looking at the transportation-related emissions for people traveling to and from buildings, which is mostly what we travel for. And unique to Cincinnati, we also have a pillar of our work focused on occupant health. So we're very excited. I've been in the job for only about 7 months or so. It's been like drinking from that proverbial fire hose. And I mean, I've been getting to know the community, getting to know systems, getting to know the content at a deeper level. And we are in the process of imagining how to, I have to say that the 2030, I'm very gratified that Elizabeth, my predecessor in the director role, is here today. She's still very much engaged with the district and a great inspiration to me. She left it in very good standing, but we are also in the process of thinking, how do we take our activities to the next level? How do we reach out to more members? How do we bring additional buildings into the district and help them make this, start on this transition to being more sustainable? And we've got lots of ideas along those lines, and we're not quite ready to make a formal announcement about strategy, but I will allude to one because it's particularly pertinent today, and that is that we are thinking about the opportunity that is represented in working specifically with more small to medium-sized businesses, because those are the entities that really, I mean, they don't have in-house energy management resources, they don't have long-standing relationships with external engineering contractors and firms. They oftentimes, energy is not their specialty, it's not top of mind, and they could really benefit from improving energy use and all of the other resources that I just alluded to, but don't have the time, expertise, and sometimes the resources to focus on it. And so there's a real opportunity there, and totally exemplified by Enriching Spaces. And Dawn, I just have to hand it to you for being such a leader and showing what is possible for a small or medium-sized business in a small or medium-sized building. And now everybody wants to follow in your wake.
Well, thank you all. Thank you, Dawn, for hosting this. Thank you, Green Umbrella, for hosting this event. And Wyatt, you are doing a wonderful job. I am so thrilled that we are able to all come here together. So I have a business which is Rojas Design and Sustainability. In this capacity today, I get to represent the U.S. Green Building Council and our Market Leadership Advisory Board. There's about 6,000 advisory board members across the globe, and Chad Edwards is here also representing the Southwest Ohio region, and we have Sanyag, who is not here today, but the three of us basically represent this part of Ohio. And it's our pleasure to be able to be here and to give this award, which is so well deserved. And so just a little bit of history here. I have known Dawn for over 20 years, and first as a designer and working with your team to execute projects and bring design services. So this is something they have done so well for so long. And I guess I get to watch from the outside as you've gone on your journey. And then, yeah. So then as the Cincinnati 2030 District Director, I got to, invite you and bring you into the 2030 District, which helped, I think, provide, some guidance as to how you go through the measurement. Yeah. Just doing so many things with your property, but also with your people. And I think one of the things I want to call out is how amazing you have been at integrating sustainability into everything that you've done. And it crosses over all of the LEED and 2030 district goals. So all of these are aligned. And I think everybody here can take a moment to reach out to Ryan and Wyatt and Dawn to learn. I mean, that's one of the things that you are a leader, and the fact that you don't know it means you're even a better leader. So these are the ways that we impact market change within the built environment. The USGBC and LEED have been around for over 25 years, and in fact have really set the standard for what it means to raise a bar in the high-performing building environment. So it's really a great alignment of all of the best things that we can do with the building and for our humans in the space. So you all will hear a little bit about what they've done with their property, but in the meantime, it gives me great pleasure to be able to, on the behalf of U.S. Green Building Council, to hand you this award.
I really enjoyed getting the opportunity to work on Enriching Spaces LEED process. They had already achieved a well building standard, and a lot of the documentation can be repurposed for the LEED standard, and so that's what I did. Took took all the well standard and entered it into the U.S. Green Building Council's portal. We achieved LEED Gold. It was a well platinum standard. Well focuses a lot more on the individual, the mental and the nutrition and air quality. LEED focuses a little more on the built environment, the HVAC systems and the air quality and outside air introduction into the building. Just wanted to encourage any business to join the 2030 district. It's just a pledge that you're going to reduce your energy use by 50% by 2030. There's no cost involved, and we use the Energy Star Portfolio Manager to enter the data, and that's free service as well. You can't change what you don't measure. So the first step is just, for any business, is just to join the 2030 district, start entering your data, just your utility and water bills into the Energy Star Portfolio Manager. Then to go ahead and think about proceeding for LEED documentation, there's also another free service that the U.S. Green Building Council offers, LEED Socorro, and it's another portal where you enter this data, plus you also enter your waste data and your employee information about the employee's comfort and their transportation, and that's a free service as well. So you don't have to proceed with the certifications if you don't want to, but I highly encourage you to just enter the data into Energy Star Portfolio and LEED Socorro, and it'll really set you on your path to reducing your energy use and being more favorable to the environment.
Okay, I'm just briefly going to run through a few slides here, and then you can ask me questions. So this is a little bit of a marketing. We do some RFQs, and I just always start with why enriching spaces, so I've pulled from that. Our well-certified platinum achievement, we're first in Ohio, 9th in the nation, and I want to give credit to Immersion Design and Yasha Agwave. Yasha, I was in over my head. We tend to be overachievers at Enriching Spaces, so I said, let's just go for platinum. And a few months into it, I was like, what? But the whole team, we took it apart piece by piece. Well gave us a coach. Yasha really helped us with a lot of the complicated processes. So it's, like Chuck said, it is more human-based, and LEED is more building-based focus. So that's a simple way to talk about the differences. So there's 10 different features that you get points for that have to do with the human being's health and well-being. This is just, I think, a poignant summarization. Our environment is changing how we live, changing our work and culture, changing what we eat, changing how we feel, changing how we get around. The buildings where we live, work, learn, and relax profoundly affect our health and well-being and productivity. And when you really think about how much time we're in an interior space, that has the biggest impact on all those factors. We also got our well health safety rating. This sort of evolved with COVID. It was just another layer of policies and emergency services, down to our CPR training with Forest Park, to what is our emergency process for a fire, a tornado, cyber insurance, and then a whole bunch of safety, more safety parts about cleanliness, cleaning products, that kind of thing. And we just have covered the 2030 district. I actually will blame Yasha for getting me involved with that. And I'm glad you did, because he said, this is perfect for you, and even though we were out in the suburbs, you made it all work, for sure. So just a couple things. We have already met our 2030 goals, and Yeah. And just a couple other things we've done. We've removed all the grass lawn on our 2.5 acre site. We don't even have irrigation anymore. I'm putting a pitch out. I'm looking for commercial water barrels with pump that I'm looking for the most highly rated. We have a great slanted roof here, so every once in a while we have to pull out a hose, and I'd like to just have that hose come from a rain barrel. So here's just a little bit of data on it. I also have a few posters around about our carbon reduction, water savings, and when you think about a lawn mowing company that comes every week, usually about 32 times a year, the truck pulls up with its trailer with the lawnmower, and then the gas for the truck, the lawnmower, and the blowers. It's phenomenal. And a lot of communities, not around here, actually prohibit the use of gas blowers because it just gets sucked up into your 8 outdoor units and comes right into your building. So that was a profound. If I was to tell a story, one day we were having an event, and all of a sudden the air monitor just started shooting up, and I realized that I had 3 guys doing fall cleanup with blowers around the whole perimeter of the office. And you wouldn't know it if it weren't for the air monitor and actually being able to see it. So that's just a little story. Also, why Enriching Spaces, we partner with, I would consider, the leading vendors in sustainable initiatives. Herman Miller and Knoll have joined together now to be Miller Knoll. They were actually one of the founding groups of the LEED, and then OFS brands and a few of our other products. Our library is pretty curated to meet certain criteria. So we're not going to bring a fabric sample into our library. And Immersion was also a real role model for that. And I know we're the only dealership that has a mindful materials library like this because of it. Some other ways that we meet our sustainability commitment is besides our library, our in-house and job site recycling initiatives, all about reducing landfill. One of the highlights of this last year was getting a commercial composting company. I even put their name in here, Go Zero. It changed the amount of trash overnight. And so the dirty paper towels, the dirty pizza boxes, the food scraps, all the things, and there's a picture right here of, if you'll look up in our kitchen, of the signage of what goes in what area, and it was profound. The second highlight with the compostability is we no longer are putting K-cups in the trash because we use this San Francisco Bay coffee. I'm just going to give you this insight. If some of you do have the Keurig machines, that it's a commercially compostable pod. So that was like, I think I rang the gong that day when, when we found that. Repurposing and donating existing furniture. I think in today's design world, it's time for us to not, I think that the habit of companies moving from one space to another means that all the furniture goes away and all of it's new. And to just be a little bit more mindful, can we really think about where is it going? And to try to keep that furniture out of landfill as well. I have to talk about the hub, and I credit Veronica for the hub. We out on our dock have just racks of shelves. That's where we collect any library samples, fabric samples, and so forth. We also collect clean white styrofoam, food packaging, what else? Tons of stuff. And if you haven't been to the hub, you need to go. They'll take rolls of fabric. They'll take just old pots and all kinds of great products. Okay. This is just what I wanted. This was the before. You can see all the grass and lawn. And now this is the drawing that our designer just put for what the replacement is. I've kind of hit a little bit of a block on this back lot back here. You'll see it's weeded now. Then now it's. I didn't know weeds could get that tall there, but I had Wright out to talk about this, and then he sent Josh from Forest Park out to really talk about water diversion, and we're just starting to explore what we can do. This is all water retention for Forest Park. There's a huge ravine down here, and it's getting more exaggerated. I'm glad the bamboo is spreading down there because it'll hold that a little bit more, but we need to help tell the water which way to go so that I have solved one problem. I don't have mud on my patio right now because I've been doing my own work around the edge. We talked about this. I say LEED is for buildings and WELL is for people. And really quickly, I can give this to you, but we've put, like, what were the fundamental things that we did for our WELL certification, because we don't have a big budget. When we had to figure out how can, just my normal contractors I use every day, how can we improve the filtration, how can we measure our air, how can we even work with Cincinnati Water to come out and test and understand our water and what we could do with that. So each of these 10 categories were just really an opportunity to discover nourishment, providing healthy snacks. If you see that our soft drinks are smaller cans, it's because we are limited to 25 grams of sugar in any portion of anything that we serve. We also try to have at least one healthy item that we put out every day in terms of fruit. And we like chocolate too, so we've curated our chocolate. Lighting, now just finished this last year, we're all LED, but that's been a multi-year process because again, this last time I didn't want to trash my light fixtures, because where is that going to go? So how can we retrofit what we have? And then movement. All of our folks have sit-to-stand option in their workstation, but then we also have a path around the building so that it encourages people to just go out and take a walk. And we have yoga here every Thursday morning for those who want to participate, and do what we can to make that possible. Thermal comfort is very difficult, especially when you have we're a woman-owned company and we're all women. And some of them got the fan going while others are wrapped in a blanket. So, to think that you're going to come up with a mechanical system that's going to be able to determine that. So we issued blankets and fans. And the most important thing was we granted permission for you to bring your blanket to the conference room. Because, people feel funny now, now they're cozied up and it's just whatever time of your life it is, or just what your thermostat is. And sound, that was just a lot of serious acoustical testing. It just counts mainly in your main work area. Obviously the acoustics down here would not pass. But it was interesting with the tests, you still blow up a balloon and pop it and measure how long the sound moves. Materials, we've talked about that. And our mindful materials library. Mind, this is probably one of the most complex areas to deal with. The depression, the stress. What can we do in the environment to at least alleviate that? How can we also educate that? it's pretty amazing what just a walk outside for a few minutes or even looking out the window can do to assist with that. We do have, this was obligatory, but now we do it for most corporations, a mother's room. It also, we call it the headache room, if you just need to take 2 aspirin and recline or to take a short power nap, or to just have a little bit of space. It's right around the corner here. And then community. Oh, here's even Jermaine teaching us our CPR. We were not ADA accessible, so this was a pretty big deal. We solved that problem, and we didn't have a restroom down here. So we made, this originally when it was a warehouse was all glass block, a garage door there, metal door there. So that renovation, letting the windows in, but ADA to this level of the building is from the parking lot in this way. And then the universal restroom, which we call, it's the everyone restroom. Doesn't matter your gender or if you're a family or what the situation, or if you just prefer being in your own restroom and not sharing a restroom with anybody. So doing that and also upgrading upstairs to get a universal restroom up there and getting ADA compliant with signage and also all the signage around the property about no smoking or weapons allowed on this property. That kind of thing is all part of the WELL program. And this was testing day, so you can tell it was still COVID. But we got the all clear as long as we were masked, and our tester came in. So there's Yasha, me, and our tester, and pictures of that day. It was a little bit nerve-wracking because we'll just let you in the secret. We just didn't want it to rain because when it rains on our white roof, it sounds like it's hail. So we got lucky there. And anything requires just a team of shareholders and partners. When you hear those Disney stories about they give this spiel to the contractors so they could see what the bigger picture is, that's what I did with my electricians and all the people that worked with me, my painters. Just said, this is what I'm trying to do. I'd pull out the pages in the book, and then they were all, I couldn't have done it without them. And our team was invested. It was real teamwork. So that's that. I get a glass. I get a glass of wine now.
Well, thank you very much, Dawn. I really appreciate the great presentation. And let's all give her another round of applause.